Meghan Markle has officially returned to podcasting with the new series Confessions of a Female Founder, 2 years after Spotify tore up a podcast deal with the Sussexes. Reilly Sullivan is a lifestyle reporter here at skynews.com.au and he's always across the latest celebrity headlines. Reilly, great to see you.
Great to be back.
Meghan Markle has released her new podcast. What's the reaction been?
Yeah, so we've finally heard the first episode of Meghan's new podcast for Lemonada Media, Confessions of a Female Founder, as you said. Her first episode, it was the woman who created Bumble, so pretty big get in terms of business people. Allegedly, they're close friends. I've never heard of this before. I mean, sure, why not? I do think it was pretty boring. You know, The Guardian said it best. They said it was, I think, stomach churning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty boring. I mean, realistically, what is her expertise in this space? She's not a founder. She's not really a business person. She was an actress on Suits and she had a blog and then she was in the royal family. So
yeah, she's married a prince.
Right, she married a prince. Like, I don't really see what she can bring to this genre. That seems to be the consensus. I'll give her credit though. I was looking at the Spotify charts, the Apple charts. She's charting very well. In the US, it was in the top 10 as of yesterday. Even in the UK, she's climbing into the top 20, which I thought was quite interesting considering, you know, they are very polarising, Meghan and Harry, in the UK.
Yes.
So it remains to be seen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is similar to Archetypes because Archetypes started at the top of the charts and then within a few weeks it was in the top 40. So I reckon this is going to be the trajectory for this new one.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. King Charles and Queen Camilla paid a surprise visit to Pope Francis during their state visit to Italy. What more can you tell us about the visit?
Yeah, so Charles and Camilla are on their state visit at the moment in Italy, and they were able to see the Pope yesterday overnight, and that was a surprise. It wasn't previously announced, and of course, you know, the Pope was on, you know, in serious hospitalisation. There were concerns that he was going to die quite recently. So very, I think, heartwarming for people around the world to see two leaders who've battled, you know, illness, of course, Pope Francis and King Charles, as he's still going through chemotherapy treatment. So, you know, I think it was a very reassuring sign. I think, especially, you know, when there is a lot of turmoil in the world, to see two leaders symbolically, I guess, come together like that. I think it was a really inspiring sign and just great to see Charles and Camilla out doing more royal tours around the world.
No, we love to see it. Prince Harry, he's been back in court. He was in London's Court of Appeal this week amid his ongoing legal battle with the British Home Office. What's the latest on his case?
Yes, so Harry was back in London on Tuesday and yesterday for hearings in this appeal. As you said, it was the Court of Appeal, so Harry lost the case originally in the High Court. It's now gone to the Court of Appeal. And the legal argument is the same. It's basically saying that it was unjust that Harry lost his taxpayer-funded security protection when he left royal duties. The Home Office has stood by their decision. They said, look, you left. I mean, they're not working royals. They're not of any real benefit to the taxpayer. So
correct. I
don't really understand, and I agree with the Home Office, why they should be expected to front up. I think Harry wants the full sort of treatment. He wants armed officers. He wants, you know, this sort of full protection around him when he's in the UK. And I just think it's not appropriate. He's not a working royal. He's not King Charles. He's not Prince William. He has an inflated sense that maybe he's still on that level, but he isn't. I mean, this is 5 years ago now, you know, that he's been out of the royal family. And times have changed. And, you know, one thing I've always found really baffling about this case in particular is that Harry's insistence that, you know, it's so dangerous for him in the UK that he just cannot go there or bring Meghan and their children there because of safety. But, you know, we saw them last year in Nigeria. We saw them in Colombia. You know, they've travelled to a lot of different countries that, you know, frankly, are less secure in many respects than the UK. So I don't really, there's a disconnect. I think this is Harry's vendetta. I think this is just part of his obsession with getting back at the British establishment.
I think so.
And I think that he's a multi-millionaire. He has a lot of money. Instead of, you know, putting it into legal battles, pay for your own security.
Absolutely. No, well said. Couldn't agree more. Well, just days before Harry's appearance in London, one of his close friends celebrated their wedding, which Harry and Meghan didn't attend. Why did the Sussexes skip yet another wedding?
Yeah, that's right. So it was Lord Vivian's wedding over the weekend, and that was a close friend of Harry. He was in that famous photo you might have seen, the Band of Brothers photo that was taken on the night of Harry's wedding.
Right.
I think we see it now.
There it is.
He's second from, as you can see with the circle there. And he was a close friend of Harry's. He was part of his world and his social circle. And this was Lord Vivian's second wedding over the weekend. Harry was at the first wedding. He was involved in that wedding. I think he was an usher at that wedding. So to go from being actively involved in the wedding to not showing up, I think was pretty insulting. And the Daily Mail spoke to Lord Vivian. He did confirm publicly that Harry was invited. He said he didn't know why he didn't show up. Supposedly, again, it's a security issue that Harry didn't feel safe going to the wedding. But, it's an interesting pattern because this is now the third wedding from one of Harry's close friends that he's skipped. He also skipped the Duke of Westminster's wedding last year, which was basically like a royal wedding. I mean, that was the society occasion of the year. The whole royal family was there. And he also skipped another close friend's wedding around the same time. So, I do think it's sad in a way because it just goes to show that, 5 years after this dramatic break from the royal family, he isn't the same person. He doesn't have the same circle, for better or worse. And I think this is another kind of example of that.
I agree, and we've been seeing it play out. Reilly Sullivan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.